y'all, I am the Half Grass Gardener and I'm here in Central Texas, Zone 8B. And you know, one thing you should know about me is I am all about doing things cheaper, faster, and easier. And of course, one of the ways I do that is by planting Texas natives. I look specifically for Texas natives that have a really long blooming time. I don't want to have to worry about filling in with annuals or companion planting or all that nonsense because I just don't have time or energy to do it, and I'm sure you don't either. So I'm going to tell you about some of my favorite plants that bloom spring to our first freeze, and I think you're going to love them as much as I do. So first we're going to start out with Salvia Ferinacia. It's also called Mealy Cup Sage or Mealy Blue Sage. It's native to Texas, New Mexico, parts of Arizona, even southern Oklahoma and into Mexico. And is said to be deer resistant, although we know the deers kind of do what they want, so do with that what you will. The size really depends on the cultivar. It will range from about 18 inches up to about 3 feet, both in height and width. And speaking of cultivars, there are a lot of them. The one that I'm showing you right now is Henry Dulberg. The other cultivars I have in my garden are Blue Better, which is a sort of tall, skinny variety. And then I have two hybrids called Indigo Spires and Mystic Spires. And then new to me this year is the Victoria Blue, which is a shorter one that's about 18 inches tall. So this is from my garden this morning. Here we are in mid-March, so these are not fully grown yet. They will get quite a bit larger, but you can see we already have so many blooms on them. And these started budding out about a week and a half ago, so I'm definitely getting some early blooms this year. These are going to be perennials if you are in zone 7 through 10 and above, or I guess below zone 7, you would probably be growing Salvia Ferinacia as an annual, but it's totally worth it because they are just gorgeous and they are such huge pollinator magnets. All right, now we're going to talk about one of my absolute faves, and that is the four-nerve daisy. It's a low-growing Texas native, and it stays in sort of these small little tidy clumps that are about 12 to 18 inches wide, and they get about 6 to 8 inches tall. And then they've got the stems coming off them with these perfect little yellow blooms. Those stems are about 12 inches tall. So in my garden, these bloom almost year round. They are known for being evergreen, which is, you know, definitely a plus because it's just a kind of a cool look in the garden. Even if they don't have flowers on them, they just have these little tidy mounds. But this year I had blooms in January, February, and obviously here in March. The foliage is also really pretty. It's got those gray green leaves and kind of that fuzzy texture. It really does like full sun, and it needs excellent drainage. When you're first getting it established, you want to get a little bit more water, but after that, they're basically just no maintenance. There's not really a whole lot you need to do to them at all. They're also deer resistant, so again, good for the deer pressure areas. You can deadhead them if you want to. I don't take the time to do it, and I still have plenty of blooms. At the end of the winter season, though, you might want to just give them a prune just to shape them up. And these are native to Texas and parts of the central and southwestern U.S. It's really adapted to our tough conditions, and again, blooming 9, 10, even 12 months out of the year, depending on our winter. Salvia coccinea or coccinea is the next variety I want to talk about. And yes, we do love our salvias because not only are they drought tolerant, but they have long blooming times. Now, Salvia coccinea is also called scarlet sage, and it is native to the southeast into Texas and down into Mexico and Central America. This is just starting to bloom out for me. So again, this is mid-March and we're already getting blooms, but you can see I've got a lot of buds coming on here. And this is the traditional red variety. So this is going to be the standard that you see in most places. And it also comes in white and a bicolor. These reseed pretty readily. So you can see I only have one plant here, but my hope is that I'm going to get this to spread all in this area over here. This is a pollinator garden that I'm really hoping to attract hummingbirds to. And this is the plant to do that. They love these red blooms and they are full of rich nectar. So one of my favorite long blooming perennials for the edge of your border or up next to like your health strip is going to be the Blackfoot Daisy. It's a tough little Texas native. It's also native to Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and parts of Oklahoma. It's about 6 to 12 inches tall and can get up to about 2 feet wide. This image here is only 2 plants, if you can believe it. It blooms from spring all the way into fall, typically March through November. And of course, it's got these little cheerful daisy-like flowers with the bright yellow center. It's just kind of your quintessential daisy look. And it just keeps blooming. There's no deadheading that's involved, which is a huge plus in my book because I love the low maintenance lifestyle. Foliage is small, gray-green. It's kind of fuzzy. It's got kind of a rough texture to it. I like to put it on the edge of my border and then put something bright behind it. I love it next to my rock rose, as well as any of the other plants that we've talked about in this video, but you can really pair it with anything. And last but not least, I have the rock rose. Now, this is a native to central Texas down to South Texas into Mexico. And it has these amazing Barbie pink hibiscus-like blooms that are just super profuse. These photos that I'm showing, this first video, is from my mid-March garden, so it's not fully in bloom yet, but you can see I already have quite a lot of color. I'll go ahead and put up some video of this same plant from last spring. It's got a really long blooming season, so obviously around March to about November, and it stays pretty much evergreen for me. The reason why I'm calling this an honorable mention is because even though it does have a long blooming season, the blooms do tend to close in the afternoon in our summer heat. So once we start hitting 100-degree temperatures in July and August, you'll keep the blooms, but they'll open and close kind of as the day progresses. Foliage is soft green, kind of fuzzy, and this just really has like a fun kind of casual look to it. So it looks really good in like a cottage garden or just a pop of color. It thrives in full sun, handles poor soil, extremely drought tolerant, all the things that we love in our Texas plants. And it's got really minimal maintenance. You can trim it back at the beginning of the spring season just to encourage some bushier growth. But other than that, you really don't need to do a whole lot to it. So even though I do have this as an honorable mention, it adds a lot to my garden, and I definitely recommend you checking out the rock rose if you don't have one in your garden yet. Well, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments. And while you're at it, go ahead and like and subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I would love to stay and chat, but my garden's calling, so I'll see y'all next time.